Okay, Public Enemies. This is a story of John Dillinger, who's played by Johnny Depp. He's in it. Marion Cotillard, who won an Oscar, is in it. Christian Bale is in it. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, this is maybe the most flawed movie I've seen this summer. And I kind of can't avoid from liking it. It's weird. Now, I kind of like it for the wrong reasons. Now, I'm going to get into the bad things, because there's a lot of bad in here. Like, a lot. That I just... fixable things that are really problem. This of all, what everybody's been talking about, the way it's shot. The digital camera usage is... Listen, I watch... this is a TV show that I watch. One of my favorite shows to watch on television is... I don't know if they're making new episodes anymore, but it's a show called The Haunting on the Discovery Channel. It's a creepy show, you know, but they use the digital camera effect, but they use it in a good way. They use it in a way it is creepy. I'm not going to compare this to Cloverfield, because Cloverfield was more handheld than it was digital, but it does have the shaky cam aspect. And one of the problems I had with a movie called Frost Nixon, of course, which came out last year, is that I didn't like the camera work. I thought the camera work was horrendous at parts. Just simple moments when people are talking, and the camera work is awful. And it was amateurish. And for this, I see what they were trying to do, but there are some scenes in here that could have been amazing. Like, there's a shootout scene in the woods that I was thinking, man, this could be so cool if they shoot it right. And it was horribly filmed. You know, the digital aspect isn't really what bothered me. It was the aspect of the shaky cam. That's what really got on my nerves. It's just, every time you saw somebody fire a gun, first of all, you didn't know who was who at parts. I'm like, okay, wait, is that John Dillinger? Wait, no, that's not him. Who is that? The only guy I knew who it was Christian Bale. But you're confused most of the time, and you can't feel sympathetic for John Dillinger's character, because you don't know what's going on. You can't feel emotions either way towards a certain character if you don't know what's going on. Now, the biggest problem, one that just got on my nerves extremely, I couldn't believe what was going on with this character and the way they were making this film. It just, hated it, was the fact that John Dillinger is no doubt the protagonist in this story. We want, the audience should be rooting for him. They want you to root for John Dillinger. And I had absolutely no feelings toward him. I didn't root for him at all. I thought, you know, what is so great about this guy? Apparently people adored him or something, but why? He's not a good person. He robs banks. You know, I thought maybe he was like charismatic during his bank robberies, and he didn't shoot anybody, but he was just nice about robbing banks, I guess. But no, he killed people. He was a terrible guy. Why do people root for him? I couldn't root for him at all. And the lowest point of this movie, the very worst scene, is the scene when they really want you to be sympathetic for John Dillinger. And this is going to be a mild spoiler. Well, no, not really. It's not going to be a spoiler, but he starts crying about something. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but he starts crying. And I rolled my eyes. I literally rolled my eyes, because this was not I didn't feel sorry for him. You know, he had it coming. He really did. And Marion Cotillard, who I felt sympathy for her, because I thought she played the role very good, and I felt sympathetic, but I'm going to get into Christian Bale's performance for a second. Now, Christian Bale, as you know, can do no wrong, for me. Alright? He was a little bit underwritten in Terminator. I'll give you that. And some people are saying that he was underwritten in this movie. Were you watching the same movie? Christian Bale was incredible in this. He should get an Academy Award nomination for this movie. He was unbelievable. I guess I can kind of understand why you wouldn't like him, but I really saw his character's motivation in here. No, I think he was fantastic. His performance blew me away. I thought that, you know, every single time where he was on screen, or when he wasn't on screen, sorry, was when I was bored. I wanted to see more of him. And another guy who's in here, Dr. Manhattan himself, Billy Crudup, is in this movie. He's in it for like 3 scenes, and you pretty much see all of the scenes in like trailers, and he was awesome as well. The only guy who I thought gave a bad performance was the main character, Johnny Depp, and people are saying that he was great. I didn't like him at all. I thought that he was boring and just extremely one note. And I didn't like it. And I think Christian Bale was a little bit one note at times too, but there were also times when you felt sympathetic for him, despite the fact that you're not supposed to be rooting for him. I thought that he just gave off a great performance, and I think this may be the best performance of his career. I'm shocked. I'm really shocked that people aren't liking his performance. I thought he was incredible. And I think that this movie, it's an average movie. A lot of things in it are extremely amateur. I think that 3 of the performances are good. One of the people's barely in it. This movie is just so average that you can't really feel anything at all. I didn't feel anything watching it. And another problem I had is apparently they had Ray Charles on the police squad, because there were parts in this movie, I'm not kidding, there's a part where John Dillinger walks in to the police station, sees a bunch of detectives, or I don't know who they were, but they worked for the squad to catch John Dillinger. He hears a radio game and asks, "What's the score?" Every single one of them turns around and says, "Oh, it's 3-2. And without turning around again and realizing that's the guy that we've been looking for the past 2 years, they just go, "Oh, yeah, let's listen to the game again." And he walks out. Apparently he was supposed to change his appearance, John Dillinger did, but all he did was got a mustache and put on some glasses. It would have been more realistic if he would have put on one of those fake noses and giant glasses things, because there's just so many huge problems. There's a scene when they take his girlfriend, and he's across the street. If you turn around, he's right there. And they just drive away. Now, they do bring up that particular scene in the film, later in the film, like a scene later, so I can kind of let that slide, but jeez. There's problems with this movie that are really just, ugh. I did kind of like it, though. I did like it. Because of Christian Bale's performance, and because of Marion Cotillard's performance, and Billy Crudup, who's in it. But besides that, it's just a boring movie. It really is. I've never seen Heat, which is another Michael Mann film, which I heard was incredible, but this is amateur filmmaking. It really is. If he didn't cast these actors, this would be a terrible movie. It's the actors, 3 of the actors who save it, and without that, Michael Mann this is poor filmmaking. I give this movie a 5.5 out of 10, but it's because of the performances, and I wish that they could have had a better director make this movie, because this was not a well-made film. It had some well-made moments because of the performances, but it was average at best and poor direction. That's all I'm going to say. 5.5 out of 10. Remember to vote for your YouTube Movie Critics Awards. I will see you later. Bye. Remember to vote, please.